Hello and welcome back to the Overnight Coder. Today we're going to be talking about installing or uploading the demo theme for Flatsome and then kind of working with it or starting to work with it. And you can start to follow some of these the videos afterwards that are going to go a little bit more in depth with the Flatsome WordPress theme. So the first thing that we already did was actually we installed the Flatsome theme. We actually installed WordPress before that. And I've got some of those tutorials just for the first two steps back on the site. But if you already know how to install the Flatsome theme, you have it. It's on a WordPress site. You're on the dashboard. And that's exactly where we're at. Just a blank. I haven't made any changes here. We just uploaded the theme already. So the first thing that pops up when you go to the Flatsome theme was more or less the Flatsome dashboard, which had some things where we could do the setup wizard. You could check out the how-to videos, online documentation, and just get with it. Instead, we're just going to click the setup wizard button and get started with the automation for setting up this theme. Now, obviously, you could just start and start creating your pages. Maybe you've already worked with Flatsome, but if you haven't worked with Flatsome, this is a much easier way. Let's go. We want to activate the theme. We're going to skip. Set the I guess technically we should be using a child. Skip this step. We want contact form, this, regenerate thumbnails, Woo sidebars, WooCommerce, and yeah, I'll take those. Just going down the basic setup. Next, it's going to ask us about the content and then the logo design. And that's pretty much it. So right now it's just going through the plugins, installing those automatically. Technically, you could just go find these plugins for the ones that you wanted. Or, if you didn't want a couple of these, go ahead and hit yes, that we want them all, and then you can go back and, we're going to be able to remove those. But these will just be in the plugin section. What this is doing is automating a lot of the content that was already on one of the demo themes. So if we're looking at this, and we're going to want something like the classic shop. We're already going to start with the layout for this. So really, as a novice designer or an overnight coder, you can go in there, swap the text, swap some of the button links, and the stuff to kind of make it the way you want it. And then another great thing is you can kind of check out the pages and kind of merge your pages together. So maybe you have like a contact form that you want to put it on the About Us page. Well, you can see how that was done, and then just kind of snip. Perfect. Which content do we want? We'll take all the content for now. It's running a little bit slower than I wanted, huh? Remember, with the overnight coder videos, you can always stop, pause, fast forward, do whatever you need to get them on track to where you are. Maybe you need to pause my videos. But by all means, if you have any recommendations, maybe I'm going too fast, just leave that in the comments. I'll get to those and kind of mold my video recording around what you guys need. And now we're just waiting for the demo content to finish installing. Yeah, these videos are going to be raw and uncut, although right now I'm thinking about maybe maybe editing this wait time out. Awesome. So I don't want to upload a new logo right now. I don't really have that ready. Selecting a preset, I can go ahead and select the look that I kind of want this to look like. So we're going to pick this first one just to kind of get the ball rolling. Works best on a fresh installation, does not include, it does include, that's great. Agree and continue. All right, next we can set up WooCommerce, we can do this, we can view our website. So I'm just going to return to the dashboard and then take a look at refreshing my site to see what we have here. Perfect. So, just within a few minutes, obviously some of that was downtime, but we've got the perfect site. I've got my home page the way I want it. It's going to have a slider at the top with maybe 3 or maybe not having these, but, I ignore the text. It's just the layout that I'm assuming and I'm kind of visualizing in my mind. It's 3 blocks below it. It looks like you've got weekly featured products, best-selling products, best categories, or categories, and then just some text. It goes into latest news. This may be maybe the footer area down here, and then maybe like an almost footer block down here. So yeah, everything is set up, and if I wanted to find that, I'd find that under a homepage type setup. The rest of my pages, as I click on those in my site, those have been created as well. So if I wanted to take a look, just what I have, I'm going to tell you. So this menu was created by them. This was created by them. All the page content was created by them, and it kind of just gives you a layout. The best thing that I really like to do is if you don't know what you want page-wise and you haven't worked with Flatsome, I like looking at the pages. So I'll click on pages here. I'll see that we have a whopping 77. I'll see that my classic shop is the front page. And then we can also navigate through some more pages. But with this, I can kind of see the pages I want to keep. So obviously these are going to be, more your front pages. But let's go into sliders, typography, banners, buttons. I'm not going to need this buttons, so although I am going to view it, I know I don't need this. Yeah, I'm going to want to have some buttons on my site, but I definitely don't need that page. So I just start deleting the pages that I'm just not going to be using. I'm not going to be using titles and dividers and all these sample pages. They come with great samples here, so the best thing to do is maybe just, trash them. And when you trash them, I don't delete them, so I can always go back and undo them. Maybe I need to know how to do a button. It's not a short code that easily creates a button. So I might want to go into the button styles page and just kind of pick out which button I like, and then find it on that coding page, and just copy and paste that area. But with Flatsome, a lot of times it's going to be button clicks and kind of setting up through a backend editor. So let's take a look. Pages. Go back to the front there. Awesome. So now that my demo is kind of set up, I've got the demo installation stuff there. My next step would be to set up my menu, kind of what I wanted in my idea of my shop, and then to find the pages that would best fit those. So let's say I have a home, I have an about. Matter of fact, let's just do it. Appearance menus. I already have some built-in navigations that they gave me. I'm going to end up deleting these in the end. Matter of fact, what better time to do them than now? I don't really need those menus, just because they're full of all the dummy pages. So what I want to do here is I've deleted both those. I'm going to create a new menu, and I'm going to call it main nav. Main navigation, I'm going to go ahead and create that menu just so it's saved, it's there. It's going to do the same thing. So now I'm on the, whoops. So I didn't save that. Create menu. What is going on with this? It is there. I'm there now. Awesome. Perfect. So I want to set this to my main menu here. Maybe let's do main menu mobile too. I'll do footer, I'll do top bar, just so we can really see where all the spots are going to be. I'm going to hit save again. I like to hit save a lot when I'm on this menu page. And then view all. I don't remember what the home page was. We'll try classic shop, but I don't think that was it. Add to menu. Maybe I want the contact, I want the about, add the menu. For now, that's all I really remember. In mine, I'm going to want, let me do a custom link. I'm going to want to do shop. I'm just going to set that to the £sign because I don't really have my shop URL. I'll replace this link later. It's just kind of like a guideline of where I want to be. So maybe I have something like this. I'm going to hit save. I don't want it to say classic shop, so I'm going to rechange that to home. Even though it is my classic shop page, I just retitled it by opening it up. I'm going to hit save menu again. And we're going to refresh the home page of my website and kind of see where we're at. So here I see the first menu is up here. That's not the one we really need. This is my main menu here. And then also have a footer menu down here that we've edited. And if we want to take a look. Obviously, that was perfect pick for my home page. This is looking good. My shop page is not going to be anything but the pound sign. My about page is going to be their about us page. And then my contact page is going to be here, my contact page, but there's no contact form, which I'm assuming is going to be right here. So to touch this up a little bit, if I wanted to edit my home page, I would just go back to my home page. I click edit page at the top, and I'm ready to start editing this home page. Let's just take a look real quick before we get into the theme elements. Homepage kind of looks a little bit tricky if you're not into web design. I mean, I can see some of the text, but if you go editing some of this text, sometimes it won't retain some of the styling that it has. So I think what you're going to want to do here is click the UX Builder. Switching over from the regular editor to the UX Builder, and really be able to build these using some of the UX styling, and we're going to have to get into this in another video. But just so you can kind of see, it gets a little bit easier this way. So I can click on this. Here's my text. Well, I can just replace this right here, huge sale, and that'll always stay the same. It'll always be strong. It'll always be font size 160. So then you can start messing with some things like that too. An easier way to do this: double click on that bad boy. Pops up the other editor. Now we can just easily styles. Let's call it just Charmify.co. Charmify. Perfect. I'm not going to give 70% off because I'm a bit cheaper, so we're just going to do 20%. Awesome. So we can apply those changes. Obviously, update down here at the bottom, and those are retain. That's a really easy, but we're going to go into these a lot more in depth with this UIX styler. More importantly, some of the theme options on here. So we've seen some of these things that we're liking, we're not liking. Obviously the lira, I'm not liking that because I'm in the US, so I'm going to want the dollar sign. That's going to be in WooCommerce. Some of the demo options, like having the colors and stuff like that, are definitely going to be in your theme options. So from the dashboard, you go up here to the top left, it's Flatsome. And then in Flatsome, we've got theme options down here. Theme options is going to give us a big selection of just wonderful tools that we can use to kind of style or pre-style some of the things. One of the easiest things that I've seen already was the footer. Just having this footer link, you know, not saying UX themes or copyright 2016, maybe one of your own footer layout, which is as easy as, whoops, back in theme options, which is as easy as just navigating to that section on this theme editor. So we're here, like we said, and all we're going to do is click, hey, it's in the footer. I click footer once, and then it brings up all these footer options. I'll scroll down in the middle so I can actually see the footer. It says custom footer, replace. We're going to skip that, edit footer widgets. We're not really messing with the footer widgets right now. We've got enabled footer 1, which is, I'm thinking, yeah, right here, enable footer 1, footer 1. This is footer 2, enable footer 2. Footer 2 I kind of like. I'm not digging footer 1, so I'm going to go ahead and remove that right now. Disabled footer 1, perfect. So I've got my latest news, then I've got my footer, which is actually footer 2. And if I scroll down, obviously I can change some of that. I've got 4 columns set. I can see that. Text color is white, or light, not dark on light. So I've got that. The background color was selected. If I wanted to change that, I could easily pick a new background color. For now, let's, matter of fact, let's go ahead. No, let's skip it. I thought I could find a nice light pink, but perfect. So maybe you want to mess around with it a little bit and kind of like edit and kind of, you know, see what you want to do. So the absolute footer is, assuming this bottom line here, same thing, we're on light on dark. We've aligned it to the left. Background color is dark. And here we go. Copyright. This is a code to show the current year. So if you don't want that, obviously you can remove it. But more importantly, I'm just going to remove this to all rights reserved, some kind of standard, bottom text secondary, I'm not using that, footer HTML before footer. So I'm all done here. So you see changes like that. I mean, it's just as simple as going into the selection that you want and adjusting that. So here we have the header. And in the header, I can fix all of this stuff, which is a lot. I mean, following icons, presets, logo, and identity. This is going to be the logo. If I want to remove the logo, add another logo. What about the container width for the logo? How big is the logo? Do you want it 200, 400? You can make your logo instantly smaller just by adjusting this, the logo container. And you can see that it's kind of flexing up there with this size. So once you have your logo in, hopefully it's the perfect size. But if it's not, you can kind of do a little bit of editing to kind of make it the perfect size. But yeah, so there we have it. That's installing and getting used to some of the components of the Flatsome theme after you've uploaded the demo content. So go ahead and get your pages ready, and check us out in the next video. We're going to go over all these as we get our site ready for Charmify. You know, we're going to go over the basics of the logo and getting that in, how we can easily obtain a logo if we don't, necessarily can create one. But we want to definitely get something in here. So we'll do that. We'll do some background pictures for these. We'll kind of go over the shop and setting up WooCommerce, and we'll get this theme fully set up to be a shop. So check us out on the Overnight Coder if you haven't already. Subscribe, and yeah, stay tuned for the notifications. Thanks.